days. I slept and had a great time. Some stuff would be nice to talk and chit chat about. Other things probably irrelevant for now. And as for tonight, I was just doing some personal reading, so I thought I'd jump on here. I don't know that I really have any intention to do like tarot, but we'll see how the night goes because my readings have been pretty raw and great lately. They're on. So I thought it would be could be interesting. And I did say that I would start making these zodiac videos for YouTube, and then I always forget that I want to do that until I start streaming. And I'm like, oh right, the intermittent tarot would be individual zodiac videos. So okay. Though, I know you just watched an ad, but I have to roll the ads so we can have ad free time. I know. Obnoxious. Obnoxious. Blame Twitch. But it is my affiliate anniversary, which I didn't even realize. So I'm glad that I decided to stream today. So you can always show support of my affiliation by subscribing. And if you subscribe, you don't have to watch ads. You will most of the time watch a BRB screen. And there's like some emotes, but they're not custom because I don't know what I'm doing. I do a lot of work for one person and I can only do so much. But support the stream and I'll keep streaming. You know what I mean? So thank you for letting me be dreaming out here, supporting what I do, following, watching. Thank you, thank you. 3 minutes and I will be back. Okay? Okay. Look at your divine timing getting here just as the ads stop rolling. How are you? How's it going? Um, Cute. I probably won't be on here too long. It's been fun lately though. Good, good, good. Me too. I ended up finishing like 5 out of 6 of the songs that I want to put on a mixtape and drop. So honestly, good job. That's, I mean, I'm not talking like completely done, and I didn't get any recording in, but I took like, you know, I chose 6 songs to use the beats of, and I changed a couple of them last minute, and 2 I've already released, obviously, like the I Done Blowed Your Mind track and the Queen Kunta, the latest. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I make music, so if you go on my homepage, you can see my latest drops. Um, and then you can see more on the music also, but it doesn't have much drops. Um, so Oh, good. Who's this? Hi, Billy. Who's Billy? Billy Millie. That's pretty funny. It's like kind of cute, kind of creepy. Who the fuck are you, man? That's cool though. No, that's great. I think, right? Like, it's just the trolls of my life. What's going on? It's so weird and funny of you to do that. You should have done like Illy Billy, really. Like instead, so that yours would be a palindrome too, instead of just a rhyme. Yeah, and it probably would have been available because I see that you couldn't get double L and had to do double I. So this isn't weird or anything. No, it's totally chill. Yeah, love you too, Billy. Thank you. Um, anyways, been making music and I really like the Queen Kunta song personally, but I'm working on 5 more. One of them, I did a really rough demo of because I was like, "I don't remember the words, but I'm gonna try to recite this anyways." And I sat down for it, and I never sound as good when I'm sitting down. Um, so I edited those lyrics a little bit, and I've been practiced the whole run. Like, I don't have the first track written yet because it's a hard I chose a really hard beat. I guess it's not much of a secret. I chose Cream for my intro because I thought that would be fucking hard as hell in like the cool way, like a fucking hard way. But then it's like, no, this is actually like really difficult. That's a really difficult beat. And I guess I do this a lot or easily, right? Because then the other songs that I needed to finish today or run through all worked really well. Um, but Cream is tough. If you listen to it, I've been listening to it on repeat, and if you listen to it on repeat enough times, you're like, actually, what the fuck? That's why it's such a good song. Especially because I was listening to the acapella version, thinking that would actually help me learn the beat, and I don't think it does. It's a very interesting rhyme scheme. So that one's not going well, but the other 5, good to go. And I'm so excited. It's probably going to be a few days before I record them. Hopefully get plenty of time to practice and like very, very, very finely tune the lyrics. Thank you. Thank you. Remember to subscribe to celebrate my affiliate anniversary so that I have a reason to keep streaming because every sub counts. Thanks so much. Um, Love y'all a lot. Anyway, just babbling my socks off. Uh, so 5 out of 6, not bad. And I want to release it on the 18th. Oh yeah, I do need to probably record it on Wednesday. Is that the 17th? Oh, Thursday. Oh, Wednesday's the 16th. What am I saying? Oh no, Thursday's the 17th. No, Wednesday's the 16th. I'm gonna get recorded Wednesday, edited Thursday, put out Friday. Bet. I'm gonna figure out Cream. Or I'm gonna swap it out for a different song. Or I'm gonna combine the two. But I don't have that kind of fucking skill really to make that sound good. but I'll try in a matter of like 3 days. No, 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 I haven't recorded them yet. I just wrote them, and 2 of them I had to write today, right? Or well, 1 I wrote last night, and then 1 I wrote today, and then, like, just, like, did a run through of all 5 of them a few times and was like, "Yo, pretty cool." I cannot record it that way. I thought about it. If I take, like, a break in between, it's like, "Okay, what's fun?" It's not even, like, a 1 take anymore, but, um, I was so out of breath by the last track. I was like, "There's no fucking way I would just, like, speed through this. I'm gonna just do each one individually." But the fact that I can is pretty cool. Okay. Um, Half the practice is the breath, so, like, I don't really give a fuck how it sounds. I'm actually just really impressed that I can, do it and hold my own and, breathe like that, spit like that, write like that. Damn, it's pretty crazy. That track on there is fucking fire. I can't even help it. So get this, y'all. Get this. I get this. So my website, I know when people listen to my music. And I was sitting here saying, well, I listen to it, right? So when I see the plays, I'm the only one listening to it because it's like the amount of times that I listen to it that day. But then I realized lately that I'll be listening to the song on my website multiple times from either one of my devices, and the plays don't match up. So I don't know that the plays were ever counting me in my. So there was one day when I listened to my own song like 50 times. And I was like, this is so weird that I keep doing this. Why do I keep doing this? And I just kept putting it on repeat. So when I looked at the plays that day, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I probably listened to it 50 fucking times myself, let alone the other plays. But now, today, I realized it doesn't count my browser or my phone. So I think it was weird because I don't think 50 people listened to that individually. Song the Siren, by the way. That's what makes it so creepy. It was Song to the Siren. The song is very, very creepy. I sang it for my deceased friend. Um, I'm pretty sure somebody else listened to that like 50 times in a day. So that I didn't I realized today because it was weird. While I was doing it, I was imagining somebody else was doing it. And I was like, who the fuck would listen to this over and over again like that? Yeah, I don't know. Somebody out there is like, amen to the congratulations, you made it tougher on yourself. LOL. Um, oh, I would never slow down the track. I just won't do them all in one go. I don't need to slow them down. Sometimes I need to slow down, is actually what I need to speed up the tracks a lot of the time. So I can just get it out. No, but isn't that funny? Because I was like, oh, it's definitely me. And now I'm like, oh, it wasn't. It'd be nice the thought of like 50 people listening to it, but then like none of them said anything. Instead, I think it was like one person listened to it. 50 is interesting. Me too, man. Me too. I did it too, but that's mostly because I channel, right? And so if I know someone's looking at my website that long, I'm also looking at my website that long because it's scrying the devices. Yeah, that's weird as fuck, isn't it? But again, if you heard that, oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it's a couple factors. Is because when I am editing, I am trying to sync them. So what you're hearing is probably not me being ahead of the beat, but me not like putting the music track in the right beat, like because I'm listening to it on my headphones when I sing it, but I'm not recording music with it. So then when I go to like sync them up again, I I'm very bad at that actually. So it's funny that you would notice that. But then like the Kendrick song, I was just going too fast. I do that when I'm listening to the original too. Sometimes I just if the music's too quiet, like before I even did the rewrite, I would just like be way ahead of him. It's like, okay, do some Busta Rhymes then. You know what? Good point. What if we just did an intro Buster? No, because then I won't be able to slow down. It's so funny. I just play a YouTube of the song I want, record it on GarageBand, put it on mute, listen to the same song on my headphones, record the vocals for the song, unmute both, and try to sync them up post recording. What do you do? Not that, probably. I don't know what else to do. I think it's easier with the beats than it is with the music and like with the extra vocals and stuff. And like that's what makes it so chaotic because sometimes it's just like I can't even tell what it's supposed to be. I don't even know. Yeah, pretty much. That's why it sounds like shit. These are not really great speakers on the laptop. The iPhone has better speakers, but GarageBand's on the iPhone. Yeah, it's all kind of a mess. It's just not a priority in my life in the moment to like get a better system. Because again, I'm not trying to learn anything. I'm not trying to. Okay, I shouldn't say not trying to learn anything. This is a time where I'm trying to put this out rather than focus on learning more about what I'm doing. That makes sense. It's a time thing, right? It's Leo season. This is my time where I make music. Yeah, but then I end up with these huge files that honestly don't sound that much better, if I'm being perfectly honest. And like sketchy ass websites for what? I did go that route for a few. It didn't really seem to make a difference because then I also have to transfer it a bunch of times. Um, well, not really, but I guess I could do that on my iPhone probably, right? I could rip it straight to the I wouldn't even I don't know. Yeah, no. I did go that route at one point. It just ended up being an extra step that didn't really sound like that much better to me in the end. I also am learning more about how to use GarageBand. So if you listen to like something like the Wonder Demos playlist, right? You could hear, well, you can kind of almost hear the change between using Audacity and my Yeti and then going into GarageBand, but then learning how to edit in GarageBand, you know? Um, but once again, it's mostly because they're huge files that I don't do that. I don't have space for it. But I might switch. I have another laptop. I was trying to decide which one would be which, but maybe I will just use the other one for music. And then maybe I will go back to ripping M3Ps and MP3s. If you have a good recommendation for a way to do it, like a website, I found some and I'm like, these look sketchy as hell. Don't sound that good. But yeah, it's like as much as I want to just avoid any of that kind of stuff. Isn't that kind of a big file, bro? That's what I'm saying. It's not worth it for how it sounds. It's an okay sound. Like it sounds better, but like I sound great. I don't give a shit. Like it doesn't I don't care how the music sounds. I sound amazing. That once again, it's the vocals I'm worried about. So once again, now that I kind of understand GarageBand better, you can definitely hear that I didn't before. Probably want to redo the Nico demo. I love that song. And I was just really inspired to sing it one day. So I did like a quick thing of it, but I wanted the version with the violins and the string instruments. And the only one is with her vocals. There's no other version or copy or instrumental of that song without her vocals. So I was like, okay, duet it. But it doesn't sound great because I didn't really understand the editing process on GarageBand. So I didn't really alter the voice that much or sync up the sound or do it in the way that layered them because I sang with her. So it sounded really chaotic. That was, you know what? Actually, this is a great, great example of what I'm talking about. How like I'm layering it up because that song I didn't. I played the song and sang to it at the same time, so I recorded my voice and the song at the same time, and it doesn't sound good, and I had to edit. That's why it's edited so bad. I just listened to it the other day, and I was like, "This sounds so shitty," but I forgot that that's why. Is because it's not a layer. I sang with her, but yeah, it doesn't sound that good because the quality of the speaker is not as good as my voice. You have an app for it? An app that does the conversions? What's the app? That's pretty cool. I didn't even mean to talk so much about this. You just are always down to talk about music. I'm really excited about the fucking mixtape. I've never been like, I don't want to say never been more insecure in my life because that's far from being true. I feel like middle school is peak insecurity for everybody, isn't it? Mutually, we all agree like that. Like peak insecurity is like in middle school, except for like maybe I don't know. Um, so okay. Um, but I'm at a time in my life where I'm shedding old skins and learning to, trust my instinct, even if I don't understand it, or go where I'm led, where I should be, need to be, want to be, rather than where I'm unaccepted. And, learning to live with no regrets, trying to walk with faith, even when I am, you know, sort of laughed at, ridiculed. I mean, I know it's kind of like everybody pretends like I'm not, and I was unaware of it for a long time, and the more aware of it I become, the more hurtful it is. Sure, because we're all adults, and the fact that it never stopped is wild. And people say, "Oh, I'm a hater," because I'll make boundaries or like come on here and criticize general society, and they take it personally. Where it's like, okay, well, you complain about the way things are, but then you don't want to address why they are the way they are. Like, what do you got to pick a lane there? You have to either like be willing to even acknowledge what is going on around us and what's flawed about the systems that you so claim that you are against and hate so much. Oh, good. I'm glad. But then you don't want to have the uncomfortable conversations. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Antonio. You don't want to have the uncomfortable conversations required to make change. And that's what people think is so controversial about me, so progressive about me. What difference does it make what I'm doing and saying if one, nobody listens, two, everybody makes fun of me, and three, this is exactly what society wants from everybody, is to outcast people like me and to ostracize people like me and to stop trusting people like me and to think of people like me like crazy because I am your salvation and I'm going to be the one that's saving, right? I do channeling, okay, relax. I don't really think of myself on such that level because that sounds like 222. That sounds like Christ delusion, but in a way that many of us spiritual people or people who are channeling deep ancestral spirits or being able to psychically and energetically connect with any and all of you, right? So let's slow down. I know if you just came in at that part, you're like, what the fuck? But that was almost specifically for you if you came in at that part, because to anybody who's been listening to this conversation, it was very random. It got very hyped up and very revolutionary, if you will, for those brief moments that 5 and 6 came in. So, yeah, you're like scratching your heads because you're confused as to how I could just jump in so quick, but once again, jump out. That's where you're missing. That's where it's like, oh my God, her mental health, she's so mentally ill, da 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 da. She must be schizophrenic. First of all, why do you still come on here and watch if that's what you think? That's a really weird fucking energy. Why would you feed that? Why would you yourself feed that? Because all that's going to do is put you on blast in the way that I am talking to you right now. Okay. Don't know why Frasier's coming to mind, except I do understand why Frasier's coming to mind. Okay. So I'm talking to you, watching, thinking these things. All you're doing is exposing yourself for being a fucking hater, right? And also your own repercussions. You want to sit here and say those things about me into a glass screen, my darling. Wait till you see what is going to unfold for you then, okay? That's just what that is. Be conscious, be careful, be aware, be open to these things so they do not creep up on thee. Go on. Oh, she's crazy. She's mentally ill. She's so weird. Look at her. She's just like never gives up. Da, da, da. What is that? You're disrupting our conversation. So, anyways, the holy men are like, ignore them. And they will. And they always have. See, they left. Isn't that funny? Isn't that fucking funny? Where if it wasn't true, why would they leave? If I wasn't reading that energy, how would I know? How would they know? Anyways, we don't have to keep talking about music. You can talk about whatever. We're not gonna continue that conversation. I just felt it. I just felt it. Um, Once again, these things get tired. Once again, I shouldn't use the word insecure. This is the conversation we were having before, like amidst talking about music before that disruption. Um, is that I'm at this point in my life where things are changing a lot, and I've had to let go of. I mean, I will just say everything that I've ever known, and a lot of things that I had faith in, but not faith in itself. You know, I have to have faith, and I have faith alone. So knowing that things work out is one thing, but knowing how they work out is another. And sometimes not knowing how it works out is the difficulty in having faith that they do. Not quite seeing it for yourself, not quite wanting to see it, not quite understanding what you see, not quite seeing what you understand, but misunderstanding what you see or not seeing what it is that you can understand. You know, when things become more complicated, less simple, it's like get out of Dodge or do this, do that. Oh, are you up there and you're and the nice view? It's cute to think of you that way this evening. You came to learn something from me. Oh, you're back. You came to learn something from me. I imagine somebody is sitting outside. You're like a patio kind of vibe, but like, you know, where you can see the sky. And I bet that's really nice. But it is really nice. Um, and it's a very quiet night, and maybe it's humid out. It's like a bit of rain, but it's not really raining. It's just like a nice sprinkle somewhere. And it's like it would be stars in the sky if there weren't clouds, but you still see them when the clouds pass through. And that's very beautiful too. Yeah, that's very beautiful. Very beautiful thing that you would do to sit and watch this while you smoke your cigarettes or something. Whatever you would do outside, okay, on a nice night like that. So, welcome back. Um, let's do Vishnu. I'm gonna burn Vishnu. I think it's not like Kali, but a destroyer of capacity. Um, it's been a lot of channel messages tonight. I was doing some channel messages before I came on here. It's been coming up a lot lately. I took the last few days off. Oh, I want to tell you. So I did yoga. I did yoga. All right. So I seem like the type that would be into yoga. I get that. I'm lighting incense right now. But I did yoga for the first time this week. And like, I'm talking, listen, this was like a drop in session. First time I've ever done yoga in a studio with an instructor, with other people. What do you want? Burlesque? Done. Shut up. Ta-da, ta-da. I used to have like a whole fucking hoop routine where I could strip. Well, hula hooping. I still can. I just don't do it anymore because nobody seems too interested, and I don't like forcing people to be interested in what I do. Thank you. Anyways, so what's that face about? Anyways, three's a crowd. Okay. Yeah. What is this? That's interesting. Okay. So, I did yoga. It was like the first time I'd ever done yoga in a studio with an instructor and other people. Ah, there you are. Okay. That makes sense. You. It's going good. You. Uh-huh. 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 Okay. I bet. Everybody's tired, everybody's tired, everybody's tired, everybody's tired, everybody's tired, everybody's tired. Actually, everybody's tired. Lurking is allowed if you're not a fucking weirdo and your energy isn't fucking hateful and you're not lurking just to be like, he's crazy like those other people, you know? So anyways, um, did yoga for the first time. Like I've done it with friends have shown me some stuff and I've tried to watch videos and do it on my own, but I'm not into that. And like there was the first time I ever did it was like in somebody's kitchen with some yoga instructor like teaching us some stuff. And that was cool, but that was like, I don't know, almost 10 years ago. So like I really never had any experience with yoga except for those little few interactions of it outside of a studio setting. And a friend of mine was just like, "Yo, let's go to yoga." And she did not tell me anything really except for what the music would be like and that the instructors are pretty cool and that she really liked this place, right? So I'm down. I'm in. All right. Cool. So we go. It's hot yoga. I'm like, ah, yeah, all right. Yeah, let's bring it. That's yoga, isn't it? Yeah. All right. It was like 101 degrees and humid in there. And like I'm in the Midwest where it's humid all the time in the heat. Okay. So we do this yoga. And it was like so hot, but it was like really fast paced. And I was surprised by that because I thought yoga was more about being in tune and slow and blah, blah, blah. But we were just doing this fast thing where I thought it was a warm up. But the whole class was like that. I don't even know how long the class was 30, 40 minutes. I don't even know. Probably 30 minutes, maybe 40. And I was keeping up pretty good. We did like sets, I guess. um 3 minutes per each. It was not like a pose. It was like hit this pose, 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 in the heat. So crazy. But y'all know me. You've been watching the stream. I don't know why this is suddenly just not on me. This literally, it's been 30 minutes. I was wearing it the whole last readings I did. I don't understand. Somebody like wants me to take the scarf off for what? You're checking for hickey. I'm not hiding any hickeys, weirdo. What the fuck? The scarf was because my outfit was boring and I didn't feel like putting anything else on. So I was like, let me add a little pizzazz. Don't be fucking weird, bro. Oh my god, who is looking at my neck? Shush. It's just just relax. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, so we're just like boom, 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 boom. Hitting these fucking sets, dude. It was crazy because, like, I'd never really done it before. And we were going fast and it was really hot. So I'm like dripping sweat. Music was pretty cool. The first song that played was like, I can never remember now if it was Shania Twain or Faith Hill. But I'm keeping you forever and for always, which I love because that's the title of the book is Be Forever Always. So thank you for the follow, Jack. Who are you then? Lots of quiet people tonight, but I appreciate the support. Yeah, I think so too. Right. So that was the first one that came on. So I was like, wow, that's very spiritual. How yoga of you to play that song that means so much to me. Be forever always. Um, yay! Oh, I love that little demon frog. Very cute. Okay. So yes, so that was a good start, and I kept up pretty well despite the fact that a few years ago I got some pretty bad injuries. So I'm a little disaligned physically. I think it's a key part, I think, of the last legs of my healing is to align physically as much as I am emotionally or spiritually or whatever. Um, so there's this I don't want to say need to focus on the body, but maybe somebody does. I can't sit here and say I recommend yoga, but anyway, what I was doing was really intense. So some of the things that I was trying to do, I couldn't do. For example, I've never been able to touch my toes with my legs straight. I've never been able to touch the floor with my legs straight. That was a key part in one of the sets that we did. So I took that time rather than try to keep up and pretend like I could do something or do my best at something. I focused on what I actually needed to focus on, learning to touch my toes with my legs straight. So I did that for 3 minutes instead of doing these sets, right? Um, but then there were some times where I just needed to stretch a little and would bend and shape and da da da. And then I looked around and realized they were doing it too. Oh, always getting tired or bored of my yoga story. And they were doing it too. And I was like, oh wow, I do this when I'm working out at home all the time. I didn't realize these were yoga moves, right? I maybe learned them 9 years ago in somebody's kitchen in Colorado. But at the same time, I didn't consciously even realize that I was doing yoga, even though I put it in my daily exercise routine. So that was a very cool thing to experience that even on my own time without trying, I'm doing a practice that is very beneficial and that I am actually quite a natural at. Because the instructor did mention I was doing pretty well and kept up pretty good because she knew it was my first yoga class ever. And then afterwards, my friend who's been going to the studio was like, "Yo, that's the hardest class they have and the hottest. So you did pretty good." She's like, "I started you on intermediate, bro. What the fuck?" And it felt good. It felt good. And I thought maybe I'd be sore, but it's been a few days now and I'm not really that sore. I slept better though the past couple nights. I slept at night the past couple nights, which is why I didn't stream because I was like, honestly, I could just sleep. Fuck it. I don't need to stream. But yeah, anyways. I'm very glad I did that, and I would definitely do it again. So we talked about the music, the mixtape, the yoga, the practice. What else do you want to know? This is a good time to ask any questions if you have them. Big holy man vibes this week. The holy men are like out to get them, whatever that means. I'm not sure. See, I was gonna say I'm not sure I want to do any tarot. And then I yawned and I thought, I'm sure I don't want to do any tarot. And then I was like, or did I disrupt what I was saying because we are going to do some tarot? What y'all think? Workers tonight? That's all right. Like a lot of you, I thought, okay, thank you for responding. um, I guess I just don't have that much to talk about. So I appreciate y'all being down for whatever. No questions though, nothing. The Barbie background is a bit much. I keep meaning to change it, and then I start the stream super late and forget to, and I don't know what I'm gonna change it to. I don't wanna just change it back to what it was. That seems silly, right? So it's just been Barbie. Plus, I'm going to dye my hair soon probably because I literally went blonde. Well, I think I went blonde for Halloween, right? And then I kept up with the blonde, so I would be blonde for Barbie. I don't know, I'm taking, I was gonna say taking bets. No, I'm asking people, "What color you think?" You could go any color with blonde pretty much. Except if it's I think I'll do, layers. I go as of now, I like to surprise people, but I guess the 6 of you can know. I'm thinking of doing blue on the blonde and then darkening it until it's, like, black, but still kinda blue. Maybe like a blue black, I don't know, because you can't just go from blonde to black. It's not great to well, no, maybe that's not true. Maybe you just can't go black to blonde because you definitely can't go black to blonde. So I was thinking that blonde to black would be just as bad, but maybe it's actually not. Maybe it's just no different than any other color. So I'll still maybe do blue tones underneath. And I think I have some blue black hair dye. So probably just do that because it's about to be fall time. But I don't know when to do it yet. But I don't think I'm gonna update this. That's the thing. It'll just like naturally start growing into my roots. So it's weird to me because I feel like it doesn't look super hardcore for some reason. I don't know why it's like that. Other than my hair is probably like got so much blonde in it. The natural blonde tones of my like light brown hair just make it seem like more of a fade or just like this gap. I don't know. It's really weird. Might be the haircut too. Having bangs kind of gives it that illusion. I didn't think of that until this moment. What's up, everybody? This is chat mode. You can ask me anything if you feel like it. Or we can switch to tarot. I kind of there's something that's like kind of telling me to do some tarot, but like I think if anybody had a request for a deck or like wanted to know something, don't ask me anything in particular, but like rather the topic in which the question is about. We could do more channel messages without any. Thank you. Your boyfriend, right? Or yeah. Thank you. It is my affiliate anniversary, which I don't even know. I'm really glad I was streaming for it though. 4114. Hi everybody. Did somebody stream just end? Thank you. Um, yeah, so ask me anything if you want to. It's been a lot of lurking tonight. That's okay. I was talking about my mixtape that I'm working on in the next few days. I want to release it on Friday, but we'll see if it's done by then. You can see the first track that I released that will be on it is already out on my website. And if you want to book a personal reading, you can always do that as well. But in the meantime, I am willing to pull out the tarot cards, but everybody's kind of just like along for the ride, chilling, quiet, vibing. So I have no inclination towards a certain deck. Okay, listen, don't ask it. Let me think of the question right now. Think about it, and I will answer it without tarot cards. So you ready? Link. Uh, I'm sensing something along the lines of like, can true love exist outside the bounds of marriage or something? Seems weird. Maybe that's not it exactly, but I'm sensing something like that where perhaps where you are, it's not necessarily like because you are in a place where it's maybe not possible, right? So you're like upsetting. Um, because also it's too soon in your relationship to think it. But in the long term, it's like, well, am I inspired to move then before I take that step? Or do I just forego it entirely and know that I am in myself that way, feeling that way, wanting that, having that ceremony? Okay. Oh, don't cry. There's no sense in crying. You're still so young yet. You have no idea where life is going to take you. You may end up somewhere where they celebrate you. Okay. It's no big deal. I think it's a decision you do not have to make now, but in your heart need to know what your answer is so that when it's time to make the decision, um, right. Once it comes time to make the decision, you will know in your heart of hearts that it is already made. Okay. So very good then. That's very good because yes, okay, so you would move to a place where it's more frowned upon to be there. Okay, so then it's the compromise, or you'd be leaving a place or such and such. And that does make more sense. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. So anybody else has any questions they want to think or anything like that, um, or any deck in particular subjects? Maybe. Okay. Maybe the reason I keep going is like we're not doing tarot tonight, but we're gonna do like invasive psychic messages tonight. I think the holy men are out to play. It's going to be channeled messages, okay? So I think what I'm going to do is roll ads. Oh my God. That accent. Who is trying to inspect my neck? Inspector Dak? Okay. Look, man. Jesus. Chill out. Okay, who keeps pulling off my scarf? I don't like that. It's very bizarre. It's super uncanny. Oh, good. I'm glad y'all like the holy men. They're out to play. They're coming to get y'all today. So I'm gonna switch to tarot mode so that people know. Oh, listen, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Somebody thinks I'm trying to hide something under the scarf. Is what I'm gathering. Like, you see it. It's just fine. It's chilling, and I'm moving a bit. But like I said, I was doing tarot readings before the stream, and I'm just sitting here. Really, it cannot. I mean, it's literally like somebody pops in just to like. It's weird. It's almost like yanking the chain. So bizarre. Okay, so anyways, um, maybe we move on. Fucking a. Let's go. We're gonna roll the ads. It's a little early. We got like 15 minutes, but I'm just gonna roll them now. Um, is what it is. Be back in 3 minutes. Okay. And once more, gonna switch to like tarot mode, but it's not gonna be tarot cards. I think it's just gonna be like channeled message. Or do you think we should stay in chat mode because then it's ask me anything and you're just chatting with the holy man? Or should I just put like no? I don't know. I don't want to commit to anything, but yeah, I'll figure it out. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Ha, true. All right. Um, I decided tarot mode because that is yeah. Um, had a little snack. Sometimes you have to give up, give the whoever you're channeling the respect and regard, the honor, the sacrifice, the attributes, the tributes, the gifts. I got a snack and a drink, sort of for them to enjoy while they're here. Um, because it's part of the joy of being in somebody's body, isn't it? Is to be able to taste and to drink and to enjoy things. So the holy men, they don't like alcohol. They'll let me smoke weed. They don't care if I smoke weed, but they don't care about the weed either. They didn't need nothing. They were holy men. And they say, this is the problem with holy women. They say hot women, holy men. Okay. Because I use weed to regulate my um, emotions a lot of the time, because I'm very high energy and super hyperactive, and it just never seems to stop. And it's like, oh, I'll grow out of it. No, I don't know if that's really how it works or anything. And my PMDD, although massively improved, not perfect, and still I fight with like my bouts of disbelief, hormones, paranoia, anxiety, etc. Um, Not as often pain or as frequent or intensive pain, but occasionally the pain too. Um, from the period cycles, hormonal cycles in general, the ovulation cycle can be just as bad. So I use weed as medication. So they're like, it's fine, but that's right. The female body is basically why I have to use medication for pain and why I have pain. It's crazy. It's like you don't even know what we have to go through or sacrifice. And then to just constantly be belittled and talked down to by men and be talked about by other women. It's like, have you any honor in yourselves? If you know, yeah. They thought I miscarried once, but I was never pregnant. So that was creepy as hell. That's like a whole thing. It's like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't literally know. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I went to a hospital because I was bleeding excessively, and they're like, oh, it's probably just a miscarriage. But the thing with miscarriage is like the pregnancy hormones remain in your body, like while you're dispelling the pregnancy, and I didn't have any. It's creepy as hell. They never figured out. I feel like I've told this story on stream, but you probably weren't around yet. You're kind of a new follower, but I was in the ER and they had to run like every single test they could on me: piss test, blood test, ultrasound, transvaginal ultrasound, MRI or CAT. I think it was a CAT scan, not an MRI, because MRI is for the brain, right? So yeah, pregnancy test, blood draws, like I said, just like they were trying everything. A bunch of like pretty much every doctor in the hospital came by just to check it out, give their best guess, because like the ones that I was seeing had no idea, so they were just like asking anybody and everybody who walked by, literally. And I'm just laying there bleeding out the whole time, like bleeding so heavily it would not stop. And they were all just like, "This is fucking fascinating." They're like, "You rolled out this, you rolled out that, you did this, you did that." And they're like, "Dude, I don't know." They're like, "There's no hemorrhaging, there's no damage, there's no literally anything." Yeah, they were literally like fucking baffled. Gave me some hormones and told me to go home. They, like, made the bleeding stop, told me they had no actual cause for the bleeding, and then just sent me home, some pills that made it stop. Okay. No, that's cool. Yeah, that's totally normal. And no, it wasn't my period because it was in between and it lasted, like, for I think 8 days I was bleeding, and, like, 36 of them I had to keep my eyes closed because I had a migraine so bad, probably because I was on the verge of death. Death was consuming me, like, that amount of blood. My hemoglobin dropped to, like, that of a dead person. Like, it was bad. I lost a lot of blood. Lost a lot of blood, so you can imagine. That was tough. Um, yeah. Yeah, sure was. especially because I didn't do anything about it for 8 days. I tried to troop through that. Like, I would say the first 4 were, like, peculiar, but not absurd, right? Normal amount of blood, but, 2 weeks after my period, which isn't normal. And then the next couple days, I was bleeding heavier, but again, I had a migraine and was asleep for 36 hours, so that's like a day and a half where I just couldn't do anything. And then for 3 days, well, for 2.5 days, I was this is where it gets like TMI, trigger warning, but y'all don't know about women's bodies. Maybe you do, but I don't know. I was having like blood clots that were like this big coming out of me, like 3 every hour, every 3 hours or something. And yeah. So like a normal blood clot that I would get would be like this big at the biggest, maybe like this big or something, but normally most people will get like they're this big. Mine, they were like this, and it was just like, "What the fuck?" So after 2.5 days of that, I had an appointment at the college I was going to. So I was like, "Gotta make the appointment." I'm, like, driving a vehicle. I lived alone at the time, and was single and had a bunch of shitty friends because I called so many people. I was like, "Hey, I, like, really need a ride to the store, like, I need to get some iron or something," and they're like, "Sorry, I don't have that." Like, somebody literally said that to me, and I was like, "You don't have a ride to the store? That's so weird, okay." And I tried to stay friends with her too for a long time, and I don't know why it takes me so long to realize, like, how much people are leaving you to die for me to, like, almost like, I have to almost die to realize I'm being left for dead, physically. So, yeah, men do get it super easy, hence the penis envy, I think, for most women, but, um, so a lot of people just kinda left me for dead, which is why I have a big resilience to living alone now, because I did almost die, and I couldn't call anyone. But even when I lived with people, I almost died again because the people I lived with, well, to be fair, I lived with a bunch of people, and a lot of them weren't there when this happened, and the only one who was the only one that I wasn't, like, friends with. And I, like, was like, "Can you please help me, like, navigate myself to a hospital because I can't do it?" And he was just like, "Oh, I don't know." Like, it's so, "Okay, sorry, let me go have my mental crisis elsewhere. I'm not even asking you for anything, but just to get me out of here, but okay, no, 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 I got you, bro. Let me leave. Let me leave." Um, Pretty all horrifying, you know? You should go try one of those simulators for your dicks. So, anyways, um, it's pretty horrifying what the body will do, and this is all because of my periods of PMDD that this was even happening. So, I still went to my appointment, still drove like 6 miles, and then drove myself to the hospital, pretty sure. I don't know how I would have driven myself to school and not just drove straight to the hospital at that point. Maybe I didn't, I don't know. It was pretty crazy, but it wasn't until that day, 8 or 9, 4 of, like, that I was like, I should go check this. Like, that's because so much of it, for so much of that experience, hey, Jezza, is normal until it's not, and then it's like, okay, so at what point you cross the threshold into, "Oh, fuck," you know? For me, 8 days and clots the size of my palm with incessant bleeding and migraines. That was my that was my breaking point, so to say that I'm tough is an understatement, and to think I'm not tough is incorrect. Cheers. We're back to the holy men now that Jezza's here. It sounds like a nightmare, and yet it's my life. I don't want to be tough, I want to be loved. That's what I put in the book. I don't want to be tough, I want to be loved. I'm so tough because I'm unloved, right? Because if I were loved, I would never have to have carried myself. I would have never had to drive myself in times of pain. I would not have to bleed out alone and almost die if there was love in my life. So it hurts so much more, the realizations of what that does, what it shows, the effects, not the cause. The pain and suffering I'm used to, but the loss so much greater than that. What are you gonna do? That's life. I feel abnormally suspicion in my life that it seems to happen, you know? But it's cute because as much as I seem to like lose people or have to leave them where they're at or be misunderstood and be hated and made fun of, like I so often am and end up alone, no friends, whatever. I mean, to say I don't care maybe isn't the best phrase, but again, I'm used to that. And you're like, why are you talking about this? And it's like, I don't know, because somebody is very intrigued by the whole thing, the very experience that one might have from this kind of lifestyle. And you would think it's because of what I do, but it's not. It's always been like this. That's why I fearlessly do what I do. I have gotten backlash and criticism and ridicule and being made fun of right to my face without even knowing it. Trusted people who had my worst interest in mind. No, you don't. I have to say that time and time again. I had to learn the longest, hardest way because from day one, even when I didn't do fucking anything, I had to deal with the backlash of what? I don't know. Being alive, being a guy, being a fucking child. Like, I don't know. What was the backlash? I love that. Cheers. Cheers. Very nice. Very good. Um, but the thing about the you know, ostracization that started like way younger than I could comprehend its reason is for this purpose. Is because I can look like a freak and do things that people think are insane and talk to strangers with reckless abandon and be very honest and vulnerable for the whole internet. Never falter, no matter who is or isn't watching, is because I have lived the life that way before this was even an option, before Twitch existed, before I knew about tarot cards, before I had some kind of audience. Yes, I feel like mostly queer people can relate, or a lot of the relatability, right? Same. Um, yeah, so good. So we are used to it. The fact that there's still people from my high school that still make fun of me is mind blowing. Thank you for the follow to the Blue Moss. Thank you. It is my affiliate anniversary, and if you subscribe, you support my affiliation with Twitch. Make it worth it for every stream. Much appreciated. Um, so it's baffling, but it does never end, and it does come with the territory of being someone who does these things, because there is a lot of backlash, ridicule, judgment, misunderstanding, and a whole bunch of things that are going to affect the practice that you do. Thank you for the subscription, boo. Thank you. This is one of my newest like followers too, so thank you for subscribing right away. I appreciate that. Um, this is not such an easy life, and it's not like, it's very high paid work, but people can't always pay for this kind of work because they don't always prioritize it. People aren't out here prioritizing their health in a real sense. They're taking vitamins, they're going to their doctor's appointments. They're failing to see that these things have not really done us well. We complain about our dependent on, insurances, and complain about the way Western medicine practices and have all these, you know, ailments without cures, without cause, without treatment, without, well, one thing they will have is a fucking bill But then, you never take people like me seriously. I'm in perfect health. My hips are a little unaligned, but I'm like high energy, off drugs. I smoke weed. I will drink once in a while. I might dabble if I might have a reason to, but it's not like I party every weekend. I had PMDD. I just told you about this time I blood, right? Like that's PMDD. And I overcame that somehow. It still affects me a little bit mentally, but barely at all physically, and so much less mentally that I could even give a fuck less. I'll let it then. If that's like the okay. So people see my life and they're like, yeah, well, you move a lot, or you don't really have friends, or you always have to advertise for money, or you do things on the side. You do other work. And you know what happens when I don't do that work? I don't make enough money to pay my fucking bills. So I keep doing it because y'all don't fucking want to do this. So I have to fucking sell that. Don't that kind of sounds like drugs. I'm talking about nudes. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm definitely talking about nudes. Like, I've gone back and forth on this where sometimes I enjoy it. I always enjoy it, but I don't always like doing it. And I don't always feel like being objectified or sexualized, right? But then again, the money lacks if I don't do it. So it's like, damn, that fucking sucks. Maybe people will support the other things I have going on. But no, the same people who want to criticize me for doing that are the same ones who don't support me doing this, who didn't support me any other time except for when I was out of control and my behavior was fucking garbage and I was fucking mean to everybody. So here's the fucking thing. Here's the fucking thing. A hurtful thing about healing is that the people who were around you and stood by you when you were sick suddenly don't want to be standing there when you get better. And you got to ask yourself why. If I'm better, you should be glad. It's over. I finally have healed. We can move on. We can have a better relationship. Okay. So the only reasons, if somebody cannot appreciate your healing or be happy about your healing or stand you once you've healed, there's only really two reasons for it. One, they're still sick. Or two, they made you sick. Or three, they really don't like that bitch. Any way you slice it, any way you slice it, you still need healing. If you hate healed people, if you cannot see or appreciate the value in healing, yeah, yeah. Like, well, they won't know me later if they cannot accept me now, is kind of what I've been learning lately. And these have been hard lessons. People think, another thing I think is people want to be like me. They think that I'm done learning in a sense. Right. It's Venus in retrograde. It's taking you back to all your past relationships and showing you like all the wounds, all the things you never healed, all the things you never looked at, all the things you didn't consider, the things you used to attract, the things you're attracting now, the differences, the similarities between them all, right? We're at 1 hour, 11 minutes, and about to be 11 seconds. So 11111 for the eight of us. Boom. Infinity too. Love it. Oh, good. See a Taurus or I don't know. Is it 11:11 also? Oh my god, dude. You're fucking joking. An hour and 11 minutes, 22 seconds at 11:11 or 111, wherever you are. It just depends. Get the fuck. Oh my god, dude. Nothing pisses me off quite like technology does. I know. That's so crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, what? How did we even pull that off? And we're 1 hour and 11 minutes on the stream at 11:11. Like, literally, it was God's grace. It was God's grace. People think I'm lying when I say I used to listen to a lot of fucking gospel. Praise 102.7, Detroit radio station. RIP. Doesn't exist anymore. That shit was, I needed it at the time. I needed it at the time. I was so lost. I was like post psych ward, trying to take meds, trying to work a fucking job, trying not to be fucking tarot reading spiritual slut or whatever the fuck. Like I dropped all this shit and was like, I need something. And apparently it was Jesus. And it was God's grace, And I get so hyped up. I get so hyped up. Little Ty Tribbett comes on. It's like, who's not just fucking that's probably why it's not a radio station anymore, because you can't drive to that. You're just like, "Hey, Ty!" And it's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. He didn't mean the wheel. Chill out," you know? Holy fuck. I'm just teasing, okay. That's sweet. That's good. How long have you been reading tarot? And welcome, everybody. I don't have any decks out right now, but if you have any requests, we can maybe take them. Oh, okay. Always funny to me. Um, or not funny, I'm sorry. It's just interesting. Oh, hi, babe. I'm good. Yeah. Well, I'm doing. I'm being and I'm praying. I'm loving, hoping, I'm wishing, I'm dreaming, I'm working. I'm willing, I'm able, I'm capable, I'm active, I'm energetic, I'm interested, I'm going. I'm yeah, I'm well. Oh, okay. Cheers. We're kind of giving the night to the holy men. Then it felt like we had to catch up a bit on conversation. Stick to readings. Don't worry about streaming. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Remember the other night when I was like, anytime you think I'm gonna sing one of your songs, instead, I'm gonna do one of mine. You got a bone to pick? I don't want you old ass motherfuckers questioning my throne again. I'm not mad, but you're depressing. Who's friends? No questions. Bitch, just when you don't see me walking, now I'm running things. Get the whole crowd talking queen, cause everybody wanna get up inside a cutter. Heard that I'm a real rider. Oh yeah. Bitch, I swear you didn't see me walking. Now I'm running things. Get the whole crowd talking queen, cause everybody wanna get up inside a when you get the cake, what's the take? The take is where I have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Got it, cause that boogie on a beat. Oh yes, it did. If you want to actually hear the full song, oh, quit taking my fucking neck off. Protect your neck. I'm getting that message. That Wu Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. But neither is Shaolin Law. I want to keep it off, but then the outfit is so like weird, dull 90s. Yeah. People mad that I'm spitting. Maybe I shouldn't be. I don't even know anymore. I thought music was my calling, and now I'm like, maybe the world fucking hates me, and I'm already blacklisted, and no one's ever going to support anything that I do because no one ever did. And yet, I do it anyway. And yet, I keep going, and yet, I have all this faith that it's gonna work out. I don't. It's not even that. It's just that's just who I am. It's just what I do. It's just sometimes it's there. The creation, the inspiration, the will, the idea, the power, the capability. Again, like I said. And so you do it because you can. It's not even because you want to. It's because you can. It's because you can. So why not? And like you can think, oh, well, but everybody's gonna make fun of you or us or whatever the fuck. Yeah, but what if it doesn't work out? And it already hasn't. I don't know. It already hasn't. So what difference does it make? I wouldn't be doing this here today, giving it my all, giving it one last shot, if one, I didn't believe in myself, and two, it ever worked out. What makes this time any different? I don't know. Maybe my confidence, maybe the fact that I practiced this for many years and even decades before I decided, okay, I'm ready. I don't know. Maybe it is too late. Maybe you really do only get one chance and I squandered mine. I don't know. But I'm going to try because I have a calling to do it. I'll try fucking fire ass. Oh, that's not my website. It's too many L's. Don't click that link. I don't know what it is. It's this one. You can listen to the full song instead of just like the little clip verse that I sang. So, well, getting like kind of cross signals. So I don't know if two people are very deep in thought right now. There's six of you, and I feel like a lot of you are just kind of vibing, listening, chilling, maybe like headphones, music, but I'm on in the background or something. I don't even know what it is, but there's two people. I'm getting two different kind of energies, and it could be the same person thinking two different things. But there's this message of like, if something is hard to believe, then don't believe it. If something is so fucking hard to believe, then don't believe it. You know, your beliefs should be, I don't know if somebody's itching here, scratching here. Maybe you got a tattoo or I don't know, a pain, broke a rib or something here. Um, Hands on your hips, judgment. Somebody's just like itching, scratching the belly or something. Um, Kind of hearing Landlocked Blues by Bright Eyes, but that wasn't originally what I was hearing. If something's hard to believe, don't believe it then. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking don't believe it then. It's up to you to decide. Your beliefs should be of your own, and you should be unwilling to compromise because they are yours and they are for you. Beliefs, boundaries, whatever they are. The other thing I was getting was, well, now I just hear Landlocked Blues by Bright Eyes. Um, I don't really know the words to that song though. It's pretty. But anyways, it's funny the fluctuations tonight. This is like the least amount of people we've had. It's probably because it says tarot and we're not actually doing tarot, or they read my rules and they're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna get what I want out of this, am I?" Yeah. So, cute. What else do we do? Um, I don't know. That's weird. What just happened? Everybody left. I got so quiet. My chatter stopped talking. The viewers dissipated. Somebody maybe started a stream somewhere else on this Twitch. It's actually doing tarot or something. But okay. I honestly can't really stay up too late. It'll be 222. 321 right now. Yeah. Oh, well, at least my chatters are still here. But sorry, yeah, I'm glad. Well, that's the thing. It's like the things that are inspiring me to say stuff is just like the thoughts that people are having or whatever's on people's minds right now. But then when they all leave, it's like, okay, well, there's nothing else to hear. There's nothing to respond to. Y'all were really quiet because you listened, probably. Um, so maybe we can get the Holy Men back out since y'all were like about that, anyways. Let's see here. Do, do, do. Very cute. I wish I had me in my life, that's for sure. And every time I think somebody's like me, they're not as much like me. Toot, 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 toot. as I want them to be, you know? And it's sad because the thing is what makes people so easy to love is being able to love yourself. So when they say you can't love anyone until you love yourself, I don't necessarily like fully agree to that sentiment. I think what it is that it's much easier to love someone when you love yourself, right? Because you can like be with someone and love them and not really love yourself or understand the similarities between the two of you. Does that make sense? So, if you don't see them as a mirror, if you don't see the reconciliation of the self, if you don't see that there's some kind of version of you, some more evolved, some less evolved, or equally evolved, some sort of more toxic, equally toxic, less toxic, more, whatever the case is, a little bit different than you, but just like you in some way, right? Then, no. Okay. If you love yourself, if you accept those things about yourself, then you can finally accept them about someone else. And that's how you love yourself is to say, yes, I'm a flawed person. I'm sick of keeping these secrets. I make mistakes. I do things. I hurt people. I'm this and that. I will love myself anyways. And instead of doing these things because I hate myself, I'm going to forgive myself for doing these things and choose to love myself. And when you love yourself, you stop doing things that are bad for you. You don't even consciously do it. You just start to stop resonating with things that aren't good for you. But the problem with that, or that most people have with that, is that you end up losing a lot of the people that you think you love because if you don't want to do the things that are bad for you and that's the things that you do with them, you lose them. And that's why I've had a lot of fucking friends and a lot of people in my life and a lot of people I don't talk to and a lot of people who don't like me because I learn quickly. I might have to repeat a lesson a few times, but I'm not going to stay in one situation for too long. That can be a problem where sometimes you need to stay long enough to learn the lesson. But right, I'm a quick learner. But that's also why I've been called wise this entire time. And it's really the lessons I'm learning are not so much the repetitious pattern of things I've learned, right, again, quickly, but rather a test and testament to my own growth, my own perception, my own willingness to trust and love once again. Through hell and high water. Yeah, trust is hard because if you have no reason to trust someone, why would you or can you? But to me, I say I'm trustworthy. I really say what I mean and do what I am. And if I don't really like keep things from people, but I just don't always divulge the whole information. So if I want to be trustworthy, I have to trust people. Guess what? Not everyone's going to be trustworthy. Sometimes it's a lesson. Is oh, you lied one time, 2019. And now you have to deal with somebody lying to you all the time for 3 years. Okay, thank you. Damn it. Thank you. Great. Love that. Like, cool. There's karma to these things, right? There's lessons in the lessons in the lessons. But I have to continue to be trustworthy. The lesson is not don't be trustworthy because people are untrustworthy. The lesson is yes, you were trustworthy, but remember a time you were not. Yeah. So it's not to say, okay, so stop being trustworthy because people aren't trustworthy. No, stay true. Never waver. Be as trustworthy as you want to be always, even if it's not where you are. If you start repeating the shit that I say on your fucking stream, you're gonna be in big fucking trouble, and I'm gonna tell you that right fucking now because you've already said, "I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go off on you, and I'm not trying to go too hard, and I'm not fucking laughing." And I appreciate what you're saying, but if you don't and you say it's okay, but I am letting you know it's because you're new that I'm saying that. It's because you're new that I'm saying that. People really try it. People really test it. People really think they'll get away with it, and they have for a long time, and it's not just you watching. Somebody else has already done it, and they're on here because they're trying to figure out how to get more, how to fix it, how to get their voice back, how to get their face back, how to get their hair back. They can't figure it out because I never did anything to them. I have no proof that this happened to them. I just have a fucking feeling Sagittarius is back on here wondering what the fuck they can do about that face. What about the face? That's not you. But that's why I'm warning you because I sense you say, I want to be like you. And then you're typing the things that I'm saying, and you're saying that you want to start streaming, but you also have only read tarot for 3 years, which is not that long. So yeah, okay. I'm just saying, if you think you're going to repeat my teachings, you will find that you will have a hard time, right? Right? To me in the chat. That's what I'm saying. It's a reminder, right? Not to become me, no matter how bad you want. Yeah. I ask a lot of questions. Yeah. Whoever it was left, I know who it was. I have a feeling or a theory. It's really wild, the things that, yeah, I never, people think that, oh, I do hexes and curses and stuff, but I'm just in my own magic all the time, honestly. Mostly ultralight beam. We are not ultralight beam. We are not ultralight beam. This is a God dream. This is a God dream. This is everything. How y'all doing? No, no. I literally already explained to you what you said that triggered that thought, and also mentioned that there was a secondary energy that message was relevant to as well. So we're done discussing it. Thanks so much. Avoid doing it. There will be repercussions. I will have no control over that. If you do right by me, right will be done unto you. If you protect me, you will have protection. It is what it is. That's not a true offering. That's not a real exchange. It's not an agreement in any way. That's just perceivably the way it's been for me. I rarely take matters into my own hands. In fact, I've left it so out of my hands that I lack control of life around me because I was so focused on being able to control myself, which I have no regret over that. But it can be a struggle when you're like, damn, now I have to catch up in all the other ways because I was so focused on the healing, so focused on myself, so focused on this or that, and da 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 da. Right? Depending on maybe what you think. But when you speak in a way that has negatives, some say that when you have that kind of contraction, you only see the do and not the not. It's good to be able to control oneself, which is, once more, must be able to control myself. So now that I can, I must be able to navigate through and have a grasp on the world around me, right? It's okay to have some semblance of control over yourself, your world, your wilds. And it's very sad because people really, there's this age factor that's so interesting, a time and place kind of thing, a certain way you should dress or a way you should be or a way that you should have your energy and the way you should act and the way you should be perceived, especially when age is a factor. And listen, I see its merit and I question it all the time. I want to be different, you know? I want to be different, not in the sense that I want to stand out and be different. I'm saying I do stand out and am different, and I would like to change that and be a little more sometimes, you know. I get that people want that from me too, to some degree. But once more, it's like what choice is there but to just be who you are? What are you gonna do? Force us back into closets? What are you gonna do? Fucking turn off the music, make us stop dancing? People get killed for dancing in public or imprisoned at least. Music is banned in so many places of the world. Then quote me, you know, instead of saying, someone told me once. No, it was Illuminati Miss Stacks, aka Illy Millie on the track. We all know this. And I'm really sick of people coming on here. And I'm not saying this just about you, but again, you're new. So I'm letting you know before it happens. Right? Because I say things like this all the time. And then people want to, oh, it changed my life. And then they just fail. If I'm so inspirational, if I am so involved in your evolution and your growth, why are you have nothing for me once you get it all? Hmm, it's interesting. And I don't chase down. I mean, what do I do? Ask for it? Not really. I've always suggested it's okay. You have to let it happen for whatever reason. Because that's the thing is I'm a source for a lot of people. And a lot of them do use me and don't credit me because they don't have to, because nobody knows that they're doing it. It's been a very frustrating experience, and I it, it, forget it. I'm not even going to go into detail about it. Beyond straight, man. It's just it's more sure. I'm not really referring to interactions with like specifically, you know what I'm saying? And totally, pretty much agree. Like straight male culture fucking blows. And the way that men subject themselves to it is annoying and unhealthy, right? So, um, so, so I'm talking more a class thing, if that makes sense. This isn't necessarily just a man or men, because I know of women do it just as much as the men do it, and it's people who are above me in the caste system, basically. People who make more money than me, people who have more fame than me. They just probably came back on here too. And she can't figure out how to fucking get her fucking hair back. Her fucking face is fucking, she's got so much this and that in it, and she just can't figure out da 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 da. But these people were fucking siphoning my looks, my talent, my energy, my fucking everything from me. My magic itself right from my fingers until somebody stepped in and broke it. Gave it back to me. You can't even imagine. So these people, they're not just my peers and whatnot. These people, they're above. And they make so much more money than me and they have so much more success than me and they get so much more credit than me. You could think, what the fuck would they be doing here? And yet, you yourself witness. Yeah, that is inspirational. That is wise. That is, she does have a good point. I really did like that. She really has changed my life. Da 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 da. And you go on and on about it. And it's true. Mm. And that's what they do. And where does that leave me? To be nothing and no one and have very little and not much, but always kind, always hopeful, always happy, and always in good faith somehow. What are you gonna do? These roads, they get lonely, but sometimes someone has to forge the path, and that's the thing. If you're forging a path, people might want to come help you for a second or might be curious where the path was going, but if they can't really see it, then they don't want to go down it and they don't want to clear it with you. I disagree. Deers don't make path. What do you mean? Deers are like the opposite of a path. What are you talking about? A deer jumps through the woods and avoids the path and goes and lurks in the shadows and the trees and the bushes and hides from hunting. They don't make paths. I don't know what that means then, but I'm just making a point, huh? An assessment, really. Yeah. You know, they stay off the path. They're lurkers. Um, but no, I guess I don't know what you're referencing. I'm just talking about deer. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just literally talking about actual deer. I grew up in a place where there's just deer everywhere. There's like a lot of wooded areas. So they like, oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I was like, but they don't live like that, you know? Because they avoid it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. Um, but the thing is, if the deer does not stay on its own path, is it the deer that you want to be? Because what happens when the deer goes down that path and does the work? It lurks in the shadows. If that's what you want to do, of course. I think I want to make no path, but I'm forging on. It's like I'm more a human with a machete at this point, um, which probably is not good because it's not good to cut it down. And you don't want to encounter violence, but it's really more of a hero's journey than the spiritual arc, so to speak. And my course with nature has ran into its own evidential death because my call to nature is so great that I would easily surrender to it. I have spent so much time in nature with the trees alone in general, yes, that I love it so much that I think I could be in my natural state of death to some extent. That's all it led me to, was being okay with dying, spending so much time in nature, which is good. Be okay with dying and to spend time in nature. But what it has really taught me, and this is somebody is like crying. It's a quarter after one. I'm all alone and I need you now. You said I wouldn't call, but I'm all alone and I need you now. And I don't know how I can do without you. I just need you now. Thanks. It's a little disruptive. Um, who's crying about this? Who's crying about this? Who's crying right now? Okay, what the fuck? The scarf again? I don't know. What we were talking about now. Before I just got interrupted with song. Oh my god, I was also probably so loud. I wasn't even like thinking about it. Good. Was that like so loud? I'm such a fucking moron sometimes. Oh, don't say stuff like that. So, anyways, sorry, I had a very distracting thought. It was like I was saying something and it reminded me of something somebody said to me, and then I just thought of that song and then trail of thought, I guess. Um, I love everything, you know. Like I put love into things. I think it's very good to just say I love you a lot and to tell people or whoever and whatnot and just say you love stuff. You're basically getting to a higher frequency of love. And that's kind of why I was talking about my own isolated journey was not just to forge a path or to say I'm on the hero's journey, but yes, okay, so the connection to nature is really just a connection to death. So being in nature too much as a human being was just like, okay, send me back. I want to go to the eternal garden. I'll sit there with John Lennon if I have to. Like I will talk to him for eternity. I don't care. I want to be a part of it. I want to be in the flowers. But okay, I'm a human. Let's enjoy a bit of a human life. Let us do the things that humans do. Let us take the machete and forge the path then. Let's just do that stuff because we're human. And you think it's bad for the world, blah, blah, blah. But that's why you take the hero's journey. You fight the bad guys. You fight the power. You fight the Gloria. You fight the CP fucking man, the fucking enemies, your demons. I like my demons. They're my servants. I don't even see them that much anymore. So you know I'm doing good. But I'm just saying, they want to know who's that bitch. La 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 la. Is she a witch? La 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 la. That later, but I wasn't even gonna mention that song. But then I was thinking of a different song, and I said every time you think I'm gonna sing one of your songs, I'm gonna hit you with a hard ass rap verse instead. Right, bud? Okay. So I love to be inspired, and I love to love. Um, being able to be alone and being able to love again and being able to be trustworthy and being able to put yourself out there, being able to be vulnerable, being intimate with people and allowing people to have that same thing with you in return. Loving people who don't love you, loving yourself so that you can love every version and reflection of you that you come across. Very powerful. Yeah, sure, it can be lonely because people don't always know how to accept love. They don't always love themselves. They don't always love you. They won't always feel love just because you're loving them, right? But the thing is, your goal, right, is not to obtain the love of another person, but to attain the frequency of love. You want to, ah, wow, I actually do love this. Oh my God. Wow. It's just to get up there. It's to say, hey, there are a lot of bad things going on in the world, and I've seen a lot of pain and suffering, but oh my God, if I don't want to just love what I love, if I don't want to just say it out loud, if I don't want to just speak love into things, especially things that need love the most, or things that remind me of me, and I love me. Like, of course, I'm gonna love these things and love these people and love these opportunities, these cherished streams, these energies. It's a frequency there. Okay. So when we are a generation so resilient to love, and then we question why things are the way they are, you have no idea. It's like almost exhausting to have to keep explaining because people don't really listen, don't really hear. We have like 3 minutes until I have to roll the ad, so I'm gonna just roll them now. 3 minutes. I'll be back. Okay. Okay. Love y'all. BRB. We're on a road to nowhere. I'm all alone. I'm gonna change the words and redo that one because it sounds like really fucking crazy and weird, but it's kind of fun, but it's just like not what I want it to be. Um, but thank you for listening. Should we go back to chat mode or tarot? We'll just stick in tarot mode for now. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stream. I have an early appointment. It's not like an early appointment. It's a good time appointment, but I have to, well, I don't know. It's weird. I've been sleeping like during the night lately. I think it was the goddamn yoga. I swear to God, for like the 2 days after yoga. Well, not the night of because we hung out, but the 2 days after I like slept in the night. Is there like an incredible lag right now? We good? Connection? Connection. No. Is it not? Connection don't mean a thing. Okay. It was like glitching on my end. Might just be my browser. Nope, it's not glitch. All right. So I was just thinking about how the holy men were like out and about all day and then they like got quiet and now I feel like the holy men are about to come say some things again. So I'm gonna write like I should write you should write this down. I'm gonna give you all a second. Listen, the holy men are about to come a knocking. Right now we're gonna do some channel messages. So I highly suggest get a pen and a paper. Take some notes. What your notes are up to you. You remember. This smells different, but it's familiar smell. It's weird. It's like doesn't smell like I just lit one of those and it doesn't smell the same this time. It was almost like I got entranced in a memory. In for grandma's house or something. Okay. Okay, so today what is it that anybody wants to know anymore? We're in the 21st century. People are still having so many problems. And the problems, they are so different from everybody because here we have these problems like there's not enough to eat, but there's all of this to eat, but nobody can afford to eat, or people are careless with their money. So we see like such a variety of problems, but then in other parts of the world, they have totally worse problems like there's just nothing there, or there's bombs in the air, or there's fighting everywhere, occupations and genocide. And we think, why are we wasting our time with these uneven counterfeit bills and this wage gap and this disparity in the most wealthy country in the world? And then you can't even, find it in yourselves to be honorable enough. Thank you for the follow. Um, Definitely not Gandhi. Fuck that guy. And it's so weird that I opened my eyes like when someone fought like that's pretty wild. Okay. Sorry. Part of me is always like anybody and why is Siri just randomly listening to me right now? What is happening? I don't know. I don't think so. Anyways, I said the holy man. I don't think you're a holy man. Sorry, what? No, you said you're an archangel. Siri, yeah, that sounds right. The holy men in the book. It's just kind of a vague thing. Anyways, so there's like this sort of war. It's sort of like a war. It's like a war that we can see. It's like a war on everything. It's like a war on resources, on cost and money. But this does not interest anybody to think about this. Everybody's so caught up in their own woes. They're caught up in their own life. They're caught up in their own journey. They're caught up in their own things. They're caught up in their own ways about them, the energy that they spend on doing the things that they want to do and what they love. Yeah. One time there was a little Kali, but I don't typically do a lot of deity work in this way. But if I were to channel someone like Kali, it would be a time when the holy men are around, because they're scared of her. They're scared of lots of feminine. That's why there are no feminine, there's no holy women. That's why I call myself a holy man, this one, because hot woman, but holy man. It's hard for a woman to be a holy man because, yeah, right, they are afraid of the feminine. So many of the holy men will only do it when I'm around. And I'm like only gonna do it when they're around. But thanks, guys. I mean, okay, I know I can do a lot of accents now that I started channeling. It's actually so nuts. Like my German accent's great. Whatever this like Indian accent, I guess, like the Himalayan accent. And then like the Russian accent's always been kind of prime. British accent got good when I dated that British guy. So Australian accent comes through sometimes. I feel like only if I'm like chatting with an Australian person can I do an Australian accent because it's like I'm channeling them, but it's not really an on the fly one. So yeah, this has really it's been kind of oh, okay, maybe it was more like Transylvanian. Oh, that's great. You tell me. I don't know what that is. I have no thoughts on that because I don't know. Also, you follow me a lot. What's with that? Is that a Twitch thing or a you thing? You just want my attention? Dude, I look like the guy in Scary Movie right now. You can think I'm cute until you realize how creepy. It's hard for people sometimes, I think. Oh, you have to keep recreating your account. I'm seeing that now. Yeah, thank you. I don't know, like the little rock? Maybe. Never had any. Oh my god, but we love to do our very Transylvanian accent, and or technically, well, she's from Greece, Nausea, but she's like old. But anyways, we do love to talk to our very human friend Gregor. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. We're just doing some channeling and a little bit of psych. Like, if anybody has a question, just like think about it, and we can do our little like check-ins, and I can answer the questions if you want to chat with me. Um, yeah, I'm kind of just ignoring the chat right now, and it's fine. No, they do. They do. That's why this is like, I don't feel that at all. I'm pretty sorry that you feel that way. So, anyways, yeah, so we're not doing anything in particular. I don't have any tarot cards out right now, but those lights. I'm yeah, I said that they know each other. I think they said you didn't. Anyways, I don't really now. I just don't want to do this. Anyways, um. So, anybody, anybody? Um, once more, I was like open to doing tarot, and then I realized it was more just like kind of channel flow and vibe kind of night. And if you want to check out my new song, you can find it on the homepage of my website. So something that came up at the beginning of the stream that I kind of want to go back to is the subject of healing, yes. Because here's the thing, we're gonna tie it into the conversation we were having with the holy men about society being so damaged and like it being almost like baffling that we could be in such a space, right? Um, yeah, I try to have good vibes. Try to have good vibes. Try to hold on, right? I'm trying to like be appreciated, but it's hard when I see how much I have been unappreciated before. And that can be very difficult. Good. I'm glad we have some angel numbers going. That means change. It means that you will have the flowers coming, right? Um, and my thing is I have a garden, so of course my flowers always bloom. Um, it can be very sad though, just to have to go through the motion sometimes of things, and I don't want to dwell on it too much, but the process of healing can be very hard because it's crazy how like when you're doing really bad and like people are around you and they support you and they say like, "Oh, yeah, you tell them, you get them, you do it. Yeah, that's awesome." And then you get better and you become more in control and you become more self-aware and you become more objectively healthier. And you kind of look back and you're like, "Oh, it's hurtful that I did those things to myself or put myself through those things." But it's strange that so many people were cheering me on. And now and now and now, gotta let go and let God. Do you have the strength to walk on? Do you have the strength to walk beside someone who no one walks beside? And why is that? Because sometimes you have to leave people where they're at, sure. But more than that, people want to stay where they're at. You want to walk down a path, you want to keep going, you want to do this and that. Well, a lot of people aren't going to go with you. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, don't do that. Don't go in that direction. Don't go to that person. Don't do that thing. Don't go for this job." Of course, they're going to say that because they don't want to. So they don't want you to because they want you to stay where they're at. But you could have something else. You could have something different. You could have something you actually wanted. So are you going to let other people stop you from getting what you want? Going towards what you want? Going after what you want? That's weird, right? Like, why would you let other people interfere with that? Because of their judgments, because of their lack of understanding, because of their inability to make that decision? Good, I'm glad. Because people say weird shit to me all the time, and it's hurtful as fuck. People make fun of me a lot, and I don't even realize it till it's way too late, and oh my God. And then I just like don't want to believe it because I think, well, no, I'm just probably being paranoid and be hard. Oh, okay. Didn't even realize y'all were still here and thought you were boyfriends, but good luck. Good night. What up? What up? Yeah, they sure are. What even? I am cracking up, cracking up, cracking up, cracking up. I don't even know anymore, you know? All I want to do is work on this fucking mixtape. Hell yeah. That's what I said. But can you guys not do that here? I don't know. That actually was weird to me too, honestly, because like literally the other day he was like, yeah, it's like so random because he literally did say you were his boyfriend when he came here initially on the stream the other day, and then was like just talking about being with you when he showed up, and now like blocked you. I don't know. So, um, okay, well, I'm sorry, but I feel like the whole situation's weird, and I don't really want to talk about it because it's like you can figure it out, maybe. Like, you know, figure it out. Good. Oh, good. Um, yeah. And we can read that poetry about heartbreak if you want to. Break that heart because then it comes back tenfold or whatever. Oh, okay. Well, better cool it down. Oh, Tolik is, dude, Tolik's always streaming. Gotta love that guy. I rarely ever catch him actually on the stream whenever I catch his stream. It's just like a random, like, or he's like dancing or something. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen him do tarot. But I just love the guy, great streamer. Great fucking streamer. So anyways, who's still thinking about me? Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm hearing that song, and I don't know how I can do without. I just maybe you should just put that Lady Antebellum song on. I think it's called "Need You Now," and I think it's by Lady Antebellum. You should listen to that. It's a quarter after one. I'm all alone and I need you now. Said I wouldn't call, but I lost control and I need you now. And I don't know how I can do without. I just need you now. That's okay. A lot going on. I feel like with everything that's going on in the chat and with the people who are watching, it feels like a couple of us have been here for a while and a couple fresh energies. Yeah? No, no. We're sticking with tarot. This isn't like to ask me anything. That's why, like, there was just like a lot of disruptions right now. And we're trying to get back focused, huh? Um. Okay. So, yeah, I know what it is. I've not seen it. We're not here to discuss it. We've like already discussed it so much for people who have not seen it. I'm good. Um, so the thing about healing is basically, yeah, for sure. Sucks. The whole thing sucks. Yeah. Anyway, so the thing about healing is like people who are there to cheer you on and be your friend and guide you into more hurt and encourage you to hurt yourself and encourage you to hurt others and encourage you to have bad behavior. are never going to be the people who are proud of you for getting better. They're never going to be the ones who are like, good for you. They're going to disappear, fall off, stab you in the back, tell you off, cut you off, block you, whatever, right? If they're unhealed. The way that they react to you healing shows how healed they are. The way they react to you expressing, no matter how healed you are, it's just a matter of how you handle, right? The hurts that you are still dealt. Can you handle the hurt? What does your vision of handling something look like? Right? Because I handle things better than ever, but I'm still hard to handle. You know? So hard to handle now. You surround, boom, boom, boom. Ba-da-dum, boom, boom. Ba-da-dum, dum, dum. Baby, here I am, and a man on the scene. I can give you what you want, but you got to come home with me. I don't know if I know the words. Pretty little thing, let me light your chemicals in my mind. Your heart ahead and now you're surrounded. Okay. So anyway, um, it's very hard though, because when you start to heal and you start to lose people, you feel like there's something wrong with me. Did I do something to deserve this? Am I not as healed as I thought I was? Maybe I'm still a bad person. And it's not that those people are bad people, they're just not in a good place, right? And there's a difference. The difference in what a person does when they're in a good spot and a person does when they're in a bad spot is very telling of who they are as people. But being in a bad spot doesn't make you a bad person. But sometimes when you get out of a bad spot, it is hard to hang out or be around people who were in that spot with you, you know? So it's very difficult. And it can be. And I don't know. Okay, that sucks. I'm so sorry. Um really shitty that. So I just, you gotta try to power through those things. It's very difficult and really assess in which ways that, okay, I deserve this and it was my fault, or okay, maybe they're just not as healed as I am, but they are as wounded as I was. Right. And so it's like, oh, is this something I have patience for? Or, oh, is this something I need to walk away from? Oh, is this something I want to work out? Or is this something that's not meant to work out? Um, okay. Yeah, it sucks. It happens, I guess. It's tough. But how many times did he maybe say something that you did not hear him before that? Y'all, you know what's so funny is like I could be a goofball. Okay, so you know what? Fuck it. This is Venus in retrograde, right? So people like we kind of touched on this earlier, and I don't know that it's really sinking for people. Like being challenged in like love and relationships. And so love starts from early on within our family dynamics at home, blah, blah, blah. And this is kind of love is what shapes our later relationships, the friends we attract, the lovers we have, the goals that we seek in love, right? Thank you for the follow, Femto. 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 Thank you. Um, so there's this retrograde happening. So when a planet goes into retrograde, it just effectively means it's moving backwards on its axis, right? Some people say it only looks like it's moving backwards. Love is very well. Listen, love is easy. People are hard. When you love someone, it's very easy to love. When you love yourself, it's even easier to love others, right? But what's hard is having to deal with a whole nother person and having faith in that person, having trust in that person, having respect for that person, having space for that person, holding space for that person. Okay? All those things are hard. Living with a person, being with a person, committing to a person, fucking hard. Love, easy as fuck, easiest thing ever. Easy as fucking anything that's ever been easy is easier than that to love. Love is just love. Take everything out of it. Take everything out of it. Okay? Take everything out of it and just think about love right now. Don't think about the person you love. Don't think about the times you felt love. Don't think about being in love. Just think about love itself. You might start with the Beatles, something simple. Love, 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 right? That glow from within, that crown chakra opening. Love, baby. It's love. It's like a feeling of its own. It's a true emotion. It's the full human spectrum on one scale. It's love. The frequency may be. Okay, so you just love, 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 love things. Pour your love into things. Pour love into things. Beautiful. What makes things hard is all the outside factors that affect your ability to love and love from a pure place with a purity that love is. But all this humanness, the outside world, the communication, and entities and energies, all the things around love that surround love and get in the way of love is what makes having love between two people very difficult, or even love with the self. Because if we weren't constantly subjected and bombarded by marketing that was like literally pitted against us and make us want to hate ourselves in the way we look, then maybe it would be a lot easier to love ourselves. Yeah. So external factors that affect the way that love exists in your mind or your life. They take any semblance of love from you by saying, you're unlovable, you can't love yourself, other people aren't going to love you. Especially in the day and age we live in, like the swipe culture of the dating world, and like everything's a ploy and a coy, whatever. That's very sweet. Very, very cute. So love's very easy. Love is very easy. All the other stuff is hard. Okay. So we're in Venus in retrograde. And we're like, if you're like learning about each other or in a relationship or single as fuck even or dating many people, it doesn't really matter. Right? Whatever you're going through in your romantic life, what's happening during this Venus being in retrograde is like seeing all these old patterns and old behaviors and old dynamics and old relationships and former lovers, former, um, familial ties, former classmates. I'm getting former classmates for some reason. Is that what this, listen, Venus in retrograde is making you kind of take a look back, like, okay, so where am I still hurting from these past relationships? Where am I still getting this distrust? Where am I getting this sense of self or lack of sense of self? Where am I attracting the same no good people for me in my life when I've already done so much to stop attracting them? Is this a test or is this a reward? Right? Venus in retrograde is gonna make you go through it. Yeah. Well, I think there's other planets that are retrograding also. And I think Venus in retrograde is tough because it surrounds love and relationships and romance and stuff like that. So I feel like it's one of the hardest retrogrades personally. And then like when Mercury is retrograding, it's very frustrating. And when Mars is retrograding, it's very tense. But when Venus is retrograding, it's like everyone's in their fucking feels, and like not having the best time, but also not wanting to do anything or make any movements because they're like, this reminds me of the past. This reminds me of the past. And it's like, no, we're reenacting the past. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find the hurt. We're going to figure out where it all went wrong for you because it wasn't this month and it wasn't this relationship and it wasn't this moment and it wasn't this time in your life. So let's get to the bottom of it, right? Let's go figure it out. Go find it. Let's go get to the wound. What are you gonna do? So the challenge then is to recognize is if I'm called to do something or want to do something or had a good feeling about something and then had a day where it was like, oh, this feels different today. Let me see if I can talk this out. Oh, no, that didn't work. Okay. I should leave this alone. Right. Yikes. I should resist touching that, doing anything about that. In the past, I would try to take matters into my own hands, try to convince, beg, need, whatever. I was very traumatized at these times. Went through a lot and I was confused by all this stuff because I had seen it all coming and I was like, how could I not stop it? And then I fixated on that concept for a long time. And so the outside world around me, I was like, never mind, never mind. I'm studying, I'm researching. Don't bother me. If you bother me, you have a lot coming. But back then, a lot coming was me yelling, pointing, da 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 da. Okay. Nowadays, I say, okay, you have it coming. Go about my business. So why in those days did I have so many more friends, so many more suitors, so many more lovers, so many more people around me, so many more family members who reached out to me and loved me and wanted to do things with me for me, 222 on the clock. Back then I was so like unhinged, absurd, whatever. And now that I'm better, oh, it's 222 in the time and 222 on the clock, right? It's just like, why are people now acting like I'm so fucking weird? That's so funny that when I was, like, absolutely way worse than I am now, y'all were, like, totally chill about me and totally cool with me and totally pretended to be my friend, which is even weirder if you weren't being genuine, which is why I don't talk to none of y'all now. It's like, "Alright, alright, 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 yeah." Like, I care, right? So, this retrograde, it's like, alright, in the past, I probably would have been angry, would have reacted in a way that's like 10 times worse than how I would react now. But then in my heart of hearts, I'm like, is something I was building yesterday going to crumble so easily today? But maybe it's meant to, that retrograde, showing us what we would have done, showing us who we would have done, showing us what we know once wanted, maybe, but maybe no longer. But there's also this call and this need to say, okay, fuck this retrograde. I'm going to work this out. I'm going to take matters into my own hands, but I'm going to be mature about it. I'm going to do it one time. I'm going to say one thing. I'm going to let it be known my side. And then, okay, instead of blocking, instead of avoiding, instead of yelling, instead of begging, instead of all these other things, it's like, okay, may I say my piece? No? All right then. So it's hard because in the throes of, I know I'm being tested, I know my past patterns are coming up, I know past lovers are being realized, I know exes are coming to surface, I know people are sending those messages, saying these things, having these thoughts, living in their regrets. I'm uninterested in dating because it's a fucking retrograde moment. So if what you were building yesterday feels like it's crumbled today, is that the retrograde or was it meant to crumble anyway? Yeah, it's a great way to put it. Great way to put it. How much can we handle here? How much can we do? Do you try to rectify something or do you just let it go? Because it's like so confusing because you're battling these thoughts that you're having because you're in the throes of your past relationships and your past ideals of love and your past fucking, goals or perceptions of what love means. which don't necessarily identify as they do now. And so it can be like really scary territory where you're like, I don't know, is this past me or future me or present me or what's going on anymore? I have no idea. Who makes action or who walks away or what do I do here? Because I don't want to do the block. I don't want to, you know, I'm hearing something that just don't sound right. I'm hearing something that just sounds like, I'm sorry, what? Who is that? Who's that bitch? I'm so excited about that song. I regret singing that line because then you know what song it is, and that's like the closing track, which also no surprises. Okay. Whoever's gonna listen to this stream is probably not gonna listen to my mixtape, right? I feel like there's no crossover energy for any of the things that I do. Thank you. I'm hearing the planets. Whew. If you knew what they were saying, you'd be so upset. Very strange behavior. Um, I'll take one with you. Fuck it. I think I'm gonna go soon. I'm getting a little tired. The Holy Man can be, you know. This was, yeah, it is pretty. It's been deep. Um, I think I'll roll ads. I only have 20 minutes until I have to. But I think when I come back, I'm just gonna go for a solid 2.5 hours. And it's not super late, which is nice. And I keep going back to the music, which I can't do anything right now because it's very early in the morning. So I won't be recording or anything, but it doesn't hurt to rehearse because I want to just do it all in one day. So it's gonna be crazy. And I just gotta make sure these words are like fucking so clean, which I don't need to be doing this like at 3:30 in the morning by any means, but like I'm just very excited about it. So I'm gonna roll the ads and then I'm gonna be back and wrap up the stream. So we'll be back in chat mode if you have any last questions or anything. Overall, pretty cool. So thanks for being here. We'll be right back. Buddy, we're gonna go to sleep. Yeah, like I'm like, oh, I can work on music. I don't need to do anything. Got a busy day. Tomorrow's Monday, isn't it? Today's Monday. Monday. Yeah. So, thank you all for being here. It has been very, very lovely. Um, can't really think of much else. It was a pretty good stream. It was weird. The topic of conversation was interesting the way it coursed through so many different things tonight. And like did seem to mention or call out so many different individuals that were definitely had to have been peeping on the stream is like what it really boils down to some degree. Um, we'll have no idea who was trying to pull off my scarf all evening. And thank you to all the new followers who have joined me. Um, thank you for being. There was a weird glitch. Thank you. Didn't even know you were still here. I want to draw attention to it. Yep. Protect your neck, whatever. Yeah. Um. So that's the thing. Once more, do you fight for something that seems right, or do you let it go? Fuck it up too. You didn't know. I don't know. Yeah, I love a good gold chain as a fucking Guido type Italian myself. Um, love a good gold chain. Oh, silver's great too, though. Yeah. Okay. This is something fishy going on. This is something super fishy going on. This is so silly and funny and like hilarious, but I am gonna go. I don't want to entertain anybody's weirdness. I love you all so much. I don't know when I'll be back on. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Um, thanks to once again new followers and subs. Love it. Happy affiliation day to me. And okay. And on that neck back puss and crack note, I'm out. Have a great night, everyone. Good night, good luck, and see you next time. Mwah! I love you.